set in the early 15th century in the Kingdom of P. The scene then shifts to a grim setting where a man is counting nails, presumably for torture. 3 for Wojcik. 2 for Mazer. For Bolansky. 4. A worker reflects on his job. I only realized it after assuming this line of work. But do you know what troubles people the most when their nails are removed? Another character answers, they can't hold objects. This is corrected by someone else who says, the answer is pain. Demonstrating the harsh reality of their environment, he adds, it's the simplest things that seem to trouble people the most. The narrative then turns to an interrogation about hidden research materials that blaspheme against church doctrine. The interrogator demands, where are they? The response is defiant, you bastards have no power over the truth. The torturer expresses frustration over the process, lamenting the time it might take. I'd like to go home early. Back in a classroom setting, a teacher asks the students, what lies at the center of the universe? Kahansky answers with faith, it's love. But Rafal gives a more traditional answer, the center of the universe is the earth, of course. He elaborates with Aristotelian physics, objects fall to the ground because the earth is the lowest sphere in the center of the universe. His answer is praised, and it's revealed that Rafal, at the young age of 12, is about to attend university, specifically to study theology, which he sees as the highest academic field. Internally, Rafal reflects on his life strategy, this world is so easy. He admits to himself that he's adept at living smart, ignoring irrational emotions like love and making rational decisions for comfort. That which is rational is always beautiful. However, his worldview is challenged when he meets Hubert, a former scholar accused of heresy. Hubert sees through Rafal's facade, calling him insincere for his interest in astronomy despite claiming to focus on theology. Hubert, having been released after recanting his research, reveals he lied to the church to continue his work and now blackmails Rafal into helping him. My apologies, but if you refuse, I'll kill you. If you interfere, I'll kill you. If you don't do what I say at all times, I'll kill you. So continue astronomy. For my sake. Despite his fears and initial refusal, Rafal finds himself captivated by the stars under Hubert's guidance, witnessing their beauty in a way he hadn't before. Hubert then introduces Rafal to heliocentrism, challenging the geocentric model Rafal was taught. The Earth moves in 2 ways. Meanwhile, the Sun remains still, and the individual planets move in sequence. This revelation shakes Rafal's understanding of the cosmos and his place in it. Hubert introduces his revolutionary idea, stating, if it's the Earth that moves, reason and beauty become one. He explains that his theory, heliocentrism, posits that the cosmos is unified under a single order, contrasting sharply with the Church's accepted geocentric model. Rafal reacts with skepticism and disbelief, stammering, heliocentrism? Such an idea could. No. That's just plain wrong. He lists 3 reasons against it. The apparent contradictions in movement if the Earth were to move, the lack of divine support for such a theory which contradicts the notion that God placed Earth at the center of the universe, and the foolishness of risking one's life on mere intuition. Hubert counters by saying that risking his life for his intuition is precisely what gives his belief strength. Rafal challenges Hubert, asking what if he's wrong, to which Hubert responds, a wrong answer is not a meaningless one. This philosophical disagreement leaves Rafal in a state of confusion and fear about continuing their sessions, but Hubert insists he'll see him the next day. Rafal then reflects internally on the absurdity of the heliocentric model, observing the stars to reaffirm his belief in a geocentric universe. However, an accident where he falls leads him to a moment of realization. If I'm the Earth, and the mountains are the sun. If the observer moves, the still object in the distance will also appear to move. He begins to entertain the idea of Earth's rotation, yet he struggles with the concept of Earth's revolution, trying to reconcile it with Ptolemy's model. He ponders how adjusting the epicyclical radii could theoretically align with a heliocentric view, but he dismisses this as blasphemous and dangerous. The narrative takes a dark turn when the Inquisitor Nowak arrives at Rafal's home, investigating Hubert's activities post-recantation. Hubert takes responsibility for some damning documents found in Rafal's room, leading to his arrest. It's revealed that Hubert's actions were to protect Rafal, leaving him with a final gift and a letter hidden in a mountain shaped like Alnilam from Orion's belt. In this letter, Hubert entrusts Rafal with his research on heliocentrism, asking him to burn it due to its imperfection and the danger it represents. Despite this, Rafal feels an intuitive pull towards the theory, which conflicts with his rational side. He contemplates the beauty of a universe where everything moves in harmony under one law, a beauty that he now sees in Hubert's vision of the cosmos. Rafal publicly declares his intention to study theology, but internally, he plans to eventually switch to astronomy. He reflects on the convenience of lying to navigate his situation, planning to methodically work on proving heliocentrism over many years. He acknowledges the fear and the challenge ahead but sees it as part of living a life that's truly meaningful. However, he also questions why there are so many astronomy books in his father's house, hinting at underlying complexities or contradictions in his family's stance on science and faith. This discovery adds another layer to Rafal's internal conflict. His father's secret interest in astronomy might suggest a hidden acceptance, or at least curiosity about the very ideas Rafal is now pondering. Rafal hears a noise and wonders, "Is my stepfather back?" He then says to himself, "Well, I've burned the rough drafts." His stepfather arrives home, calling out, "I'm back, Rafal." Finding no one, he mutters out, "Huh?" He then notices something burning. Someone remarks, "Ah," and Rafal responds with a nervous, "Oh, hello." The person apologizes for the previous encounter, then compliments Rafal, "I heard you're quite smart. Going to university at your age." Rafal confirms, "Yes, I will be studying theology from next term." The visitor is impressed, "Wow, that's great." Rafal responds humbly, "I'll do my best to be of service to everyone." Just as Rafal is about to leave, the visitor stops him, saying, "Wait, that," and points out, "That necklace, it belonged to Hubert, didn't it? Why are you wearing it?" Rafal explains, "It's a reminder to myself to never forget my anger and vigilance against heresy." The conversation shifts to Hubert's research, with the visitor asking, "Did you know what he was researching?" Rafal denies any knowledge, but the visitor reveals, what he was doing was against the current, correct form of the universe, the geocentric model. He then presses Rafal, "Can you swear to God that you were not involved?" Rafal swears, "Of course I swear. I believe in the current universe." After the visitor leaves, Rafal, relieved but still on edge, says, "That scared me. Don't just pop out like that." He then muses, "Why does everyone put so much weight on words?" Noticing something on his desk, he exclaims, "Ah! Didn't it burn?" and wonders, "Why is it on the desk?" He realizes, "Was it found by my stepfather?" He sees that the calculations have been corrected, thinking, "The calculations have been revised." His stepfather enters, and Rafal asks, "Did you do these corrections?" His stepfather feigns ignorance, "I know nothing." Rafal then decides, "I've been too active lately. I've been stuck due to a lack of materials. Maybe it's time to take a break and restart my research once the university situation settles down." Later, Rafal reflects on his situation, thinking about the corrections and the potential consequences if discovered. The man named Novak decides to visit Rafal's home on some suspicions. Novak reveals that Rafal's stepfather is actually a former heretic himself. He had recanted and promised to never do it again. Novak puts pressure on Rafal's stepfather and asks if Rafal is secretly conducting heretical research. Rafal's stepfather then tells him that Rafal has been conducting illegal research in the hopes he will recant and not be punished, which Novak promises. Novak then takes him to a prison cell. Rafal only needs to promise to never do anything heretic again, and he will not be punished. The day arrives, Rafal needs to recant his views of heliocentrism, then he won't be punished. Yet, he decides to say, "I hereby declare that I believe in heliocentrism." He then gets brought to a prison cell where Novak accompanies him. They have a drink together and talk because Novak is confused on why Rafal didn't recant. Rafal tells him he believes in the truth and that he has already spread heliocentrism in the world for others to find out. While Novak drinks, Rafal tells him how to easily make poison and shows it. Novak is in shock and thinks his drink has been poisoned, but that wasn't the truth. Rafal poisoned his own drink so that he couldn't be tortured and would die without pain. Novak is shocked and can't believe him. Rafal, his body had been burned that night, and Rafal has died for the sake of heliocentrism.